People, we have to talk now. Critics, we need to talk. You expect every film to be just like Citizen Kane, regardless of whether or not the movie respects the franchise or the story or not. That's why you gave The Last Jedi 98 Metascore when fans lambasted it, giving it a 41 because they killed Snoke, which was supposed to be the main big bad. They had Leia Poppins, they completely changed Luke into a different character, and character assassinated him with Luke's own words, which is why Mark Hamill had referred to him as Jake Skywalker. That was not good! Movies like The Last Jedi are the exact reason, and which are the exact reason why I have a problem with Disney. Because they don't know what the fucking hell they're doing. I don't like The Last Jedi. In fact, part of me thinks critics were fed a completely different film entirely. Maybe they were. Who knows? But yeah, what else do I hate about critics? And yes, I did get the adult Happy Meal for K-pop Demon Hunters. Pretty nice meal. Pretty cool box. No, right? Hold on, let me put the box back together. Screw it. Huntrix is such a good story. But yeah, basically, I do not have a problem with Illumination anymore. Sure, I heard on YouTube that back in the 2010s, they did make a little mediocre movie. The Mario movie changed them into a completely different studio. A better one. Whereas The Last Jedi and, well, let's just say Pixar in a way, and Bob Iger, the corporate businessman, completely fucked up Disney's legacy in my eyes, by the way. Declared himself a legend when he didn't even own any of the properties he bought up. Originally, he didn't even create them. Other than that, I'll say this. Universal are goats, basically. Now, I know you critics say, go see, like, the AI-generated bullshit that is Hopper's the better film. Yeah, if you want to teach your kids that it's okay to eat your neighbor, or to eat your neighbor if your government tells you to, or get killed. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. What did the villain do in this movie? What is the moral of this movie? The moral is family and friends will always have your back. In a Mario Galaxy movie that was there. Guess what? It was low-key, subliminally the moral. And what was the moral of Hoppers? Eat when you need to eat. Eat and kill someone when your government tells you, or we'll kill you instead. And it's it's gonna indoctrinate kids. That's not even one of my only issue with that film. Not to mention, they used AI for the shadows. AI slop now. Disney is becoming AI slop. So yeah, I skipped Hoppers, the last Pixar movie I'll see. Zootopia 2 is the last Disney movie I ever saw. I gave them grace with that one because if it weren't for that one ever being made, I would have never seen a Disney movie since Moana 1. Yeah. And I don't even think I'm the target audience for Disney movies anymore. I don't. Other than that, let's talk about the first Mario movie. You critics fucking hated it and said, but Caleb, Bowser's not good. Kids shouldn't be watching. They should. You know why? Because Bowser is a genuinely evil villain. Just like Maleficent, just like Death, just like Jack Horner, just like you know who. Lord Fuckwad, aka Michael Eisner, aka Farquaad from Shrek. Yeah. Rumpelstiltskin, which is way worse than most of those characters, except for Bowser. Which I'll get into what the Mario Galaxy did try to do in the Mario Galaxy movie. And made him genuinely hate the fact how evil he is in his sec. Basically, are you ready for this? Are you ready? So basically, I'm getting this movie on 4K Steelbook. The Mario Bros. 2 Galaxy Cut. So I can prove it existed, but other than that, what was the Super Mario Bros. Movie like? Fans gave it a 95. Critics gave it a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which is the complete opposite than The Last Jedi, and I think this one's going to be even worse for them. Because fans will love it even more, and critics will hate it even more. Because they want everything to be like Citizen Kane. See, now I'm thinking about after sometime this December, I'll get Eyes Wide Shut because it's a conspiracy movie that got Stanley Kubrick killed for making it. Because they exposed too much about the Illuminati. But I'll also get Citizen Kane for one dang reason. I'm going to show you what you freaking critics want every film to be like. Granted, Citizen Kane is a masterpiece. I'll give it that. But not every film has to be a Citizen Kane. It's a good movie. I love it. Same way I love The Godfather or The Matrix. It is not the type of movie you'd want every movie to be. Okay? Not every movie has to have the same tone as that movie. It would be boring if it was. And they would use that as an excuse to break canon everywhere. And after that, The Acolyte came out. Critics loved it a little bit. They said it was great. Fans fucking hated it. They gave it a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. They tried going below 10% due to how bad it is. But the corporate Disney shills and grifters said, no, you must love the power of one, the power of two, power of many. You must love turning the force into a magic power named the Thread, and the celebration of evil Sith triumphing over good, something not even Revenge of the Sith would even dare to do. They actually showed how tragic it was. I hate that movie. George renounced Star Wars because of Star Wars The Acolyte. He hates Star Wars now, his own creation. His museum in this timeline, he is keeping Star Wars far away from his museum. Not kidding. He told fans, if you expect Star Wars in my museum, expect to be disappointed. I agree. I 100% agree. Other than that, I expect but yeah, there's like only one, I think there's only like one thing I think they did right in this. That Lucasfilm ever freaking did right nowadays. Is creating the soundtrack for the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe in the future. Was hopping on board the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Because this movie needed Industrial Light and Magic, believe it or not. Because they actually did do then like Lucasfilm sound, Skywalker sound that they applied to that. Oh man. That's in the credits. It blew my mind. It's just like in Top Gun Maverick. You know why I think they did that? Kathleen Kennedy left. And now because Kathleen Kennedy is no longer involved in Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni will help out the Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe as much as he can. Because it is not as bad as Kennedy. He's going to be the real transitional president, while Kennedy was the president that screwed everything up. And I think Dave Filoni is going to need you to 10 years of straight fan service in order to get it to a point where Star Wars can be repaired. So, see you in 2036, Star Wars. See you then, but critics gave this a 43%. Audiences, I saw the audience scores. They haven't posted it yet. I assume it's going to be just like in the 90s, maybe even more, or a little less. Okay? Basically, yeah. All of them loved it. Now, granted, there was one scene I do think they cut a little bit out. Bowser literally melting into the lava. He cut part of that out. But the part they did show, I didn't mind. Which is surprising because guess what? I thought most... Now, here's the thing. The reason why they showed that snippet is to show people, you know how to handle this. I handled it, and I thought it wasn't that bad. Does that mean the incineration ending of Toy Story 3, the tragic one, might not have been that bad? Yeah, I'll say it. After 4 and 5, where they completely went against the moral messages of the original trilogy, I think the incineration ending would have been better than the bonding ending. Because at least then they wouldn't be able to make sequels, infinite sequels, to completely ruin the franchise. And Pixar said they didn't even think 4 or 5 were necessary. Okay? I heard that there's one other ending, the attic ending, that also would have been better. But you know what? I think incineration ending would have been amazing. Because then we would have gone Monsters Inc. 2, maybe even 3, although I doubt 3 now, because we would have gone to Monsters Inc. 2, eventually 3. We would have not gone that awful film university, MU. I will not say, most of the time, you'll not hear me say Monsters U in full words, because it is that cursed of a film. Due to how many plot hole, how glorifies the thing, the first film, Inc. hated, which is scaring, and why it's actually wrong. And it also completely goes against the moral the first one had, which is, if there's a corrupt system, you change it and make accommodations. They did not teach that in this one. They actually said, don't make accommodations. Bully the disabled. Bullshit. Honestly, and don't even get me started on Turning Red's twerk scene. That was disgusting. I would not let my kid watch that scene. How sexual it is. But yeah, back to the Mario Galaxy movie. Kids are gonna love this movie, man. Kids are gonna eat up this movie, the visuals, the vibrancy, all of it. Not to mention the Galaxy cut that I'm about to get has Fox McCloud. I'm gonna make a part 2 of this, explain why in full detail in another 15-minute video. Why, after critics are so freaking wrong about the movies they're reviewing nowadays. I mean, come on. These critics are the same ones that called Oppenheimer boring. Oppenheimer was a story showing what could happen. Warning people that the creation of nuke led to World War III. Yeah, look at Oppenheimer. It was a warning. It warned you. I can't wait to see The Odyssey 2. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan went back to R ratings now because, yes, he is that goated. Now, he did make a few PG-13 ones. He made Interstellar, he made Inception. He made the Dark Knight trilogy, which had to be PG-13 to keep in with DC's rating system. For Batman, they don't want Batman to ruin his family image. All of them were goated. With Oppenheimer, he was allowed to do whatever the heck he wanted with, his own show, and it shows. Oppenheimer was good. I have the 4K Blu-ray. I'm going to get the same 4K Blu-ray for The Odyssey. Yeah. What else? The Greek Odyssey. But let's talk about this, right? Christopher Nolan's making a movie about the Greek Odyssey, and then he's going to make Manhattan 2055, maybe. He might even make, what else? Introversion or whatever. I don't know. It's another film, but I'll say this, and this only. I do not trust critics anymore. I felt very deceived by the way they plays The Last Jedi. Because I wanted a continuation of the story that was proper. The Force Awakens was a huge Trojan horse and aged horribly. And now they just did what the heck they wanted. Whereas, I'll say this, critics. You have a very serious Citizen Kane issue. Yeah, you do. Looking at you, critics. So yeah, what am I saying? I will never, ever let my kids watch Disney movies anymore. Because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. The Acolyte, I'd say that's worse than the Disney MCU. Because with the Disney MCU, they're only ripping things off with this. Oh my gosh. The Acolyte was just trash, garbage. Is he the person who called Oppenheimer boring at least did one decent thing after praising the sequels and the prequels? He called back like dog shit. Yeah, that's word for word. He said it. But yeah, I'm just going to say this. Do not trust critics anymore. They are not good at making movies. Do not trust them at all. So the Mario Galaxy movie in an Orchard Theater today. It was good. It's really good. And I prefer to see it with my mom again due to how good it was. Heck, they did such a good job with it. You know what they didn't do a good job with? Anything after The Force Awakens of Star Wars. Force Awakens was only good because it was a Trojan-ass horse. Don't get me to subvert the expectations, because just did that for the sake of subverting them. Did Snoke have to die? No. It made it worse because then Palpatine got brought in episode 9, ruining Vader's sacrifice. Both parts gonna be 20 minutes now. But yeah. There was 2 post-credit scenes. I'm not gonna... One of them showed Dry Bowser and Bowser Jr. in a prison cell, deservingly. They kind of deserved it. And the other showed Daisy. It's a good movie. But yeah, I'm not letting my kids watch Disney anymore because of this shit. Okay, bye.